We're here. Good evening,
Barely.
everybody. We're here barely. You're right. Yeah, I was about ready to fall asleep, but I'm pretty tired. Somebody was in West Virginia last night and didn't get home till after 1 o'clock, and was up at a little after 5 this morning. So I'm a little tired. But anyway.
Well, that's a good thing that you were there in West Virginia.
Yes.
Means you got some updates for us.
Very minimal, but yeah. That's the Keystone Nationals, the 16th through the 18th of March. By the way, more goodies to come. That's for sure. But we'll get into that. What are we talking about tonight? I'm just kidding. I got some information. We'll start with the Sure Good Truck Show in Pool that was in Easton, Maryland 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, because we haven't been here.
No.
Yeah, we've been a little busy bodies. But how's Kendra tonight?
Kendra is wonderful. She's very, very busy making cakes literally up until, what was it, 8:27 or something. I was like, I'm turning my laptop on. Wow. So my kitchen is a disaster right now, but it'll be all right.
Gotcha. And down below, again, we're asking for help for the Varner family still. I haven't talked to Barbara. It's my fault. She's called many times, but I've not been here, and when I return her call, the phone's busy. So I haven't heard anything bad, so hopefully some people are doing their part to help in any way they can. So if you go to, the address is there. So P.O. Box 222, Monterey, Virginia, 24465. If you want to send a check, obviously, which most people will do, I'll send it to Timmy Varner. And yeah, so hopefully I got to find out how that's going for them. So, but anyway, the truck show and we do a truck show and shine and truck pool annually, sure good, at the Tuckahoe Steam and Gas Showgrounds in Easton, Maryland. Yeah, can you tell it's a different day and a different time? And
I am currently looking up results from Georgia because I just realized I haven't been here. We haven't had a show since Georgia.
That's correct.
And I wasn't here the Friday before Georgia.
Diesels and Dark Corners.
Or the Wednesday before.
We have 4 classes pulling at the Sure Good Truck Show and Shine. And looks like it started off with street. And I have results here real quick. We'll just go ahead and run down here real quick. And again, Ray Kaufman sent me all this information a little over an hour ago. So big class, big street semi class. And he said there's 250 to 300 trucks on display. That is massive. That's awesome. That is fantastic. But so it was a very good show. Things went well. Of course, Ray had the decision maker sled down there for the event. And of course, when I read the winner, it's going to be to nobody's surprise in the street semi class. James Huber with his Peterbilt took the win at 366.4. I'm just going to read it as I see it. So second was Randy Johnson with the 98 Mac called Divorce Papers at 335.4. Third, Jamie Eason. These are local guys down there. 96 Peterbilt at 323.4. Fourth was Patrick By with a 90 Peterbilt at 315.1. Fifth was McGabby Trucking with an 84 Freightliner at 309.7. Sixth was Bradley Owens with a 09 Kenworth. Nothing fancy, it's called. 294.5. Seventh, Nelson McCall with his 88 Mac, 284.7. Eighth was Kenny Spoon with a part-timer 2018 Peterbilt, 283.8. Ninth was Wayne Rayleigh with a 03 Kenworth, 270.3. 10th was Renee Ward of a 07 Kenworth, 267.4. 11th was Brian Short with a 09 Peterbilt, Cameen Green at 259.8. 12th was Ethan Petroni with an 08. If it's Patron or Petroni. 08 Kenworth at 259.1. 13th was Matt Swan with a 95 Kenworth at 258.4. 14th, Kurt Collins with a 97 Ford. I think pick on him and call that truck Barney. I'm not sure, but 257.7. 15th was Walker Blankenship with an 86 Ford at 254.9. 16th was Larry Esselton with a 2000 International 244.2. 17th, John Harrison with an 84 International 226.5. And 18th place was Benjamin Blackshear with an 85 Freightliner at 225.4. 18 trucks. That's awesome. Awesome class of street semis. I came this close to throwing everything in a truck and going down there that day, but I really had a lot of banquet work to do, and I opted to just stay home. I wish I would have went now, but I had everything done for the banquet, so that counted for something. Right?
So yeah, you had a lot of stuff at the banquet there.
Oh, it's insane. Yep, a lot of stuff, and of course, Cindy played DJ this year, so she wasn't really feeling too well because she had planned to do a lot more singing than she did, but she did manage to sing a handful of songs, I think, and maybe next year. So, Hot Street Semi, I'm assuming, is next here. Give me a second to find the results. Perfect. First place, Patrick By with his 90 Peterbilt, 306.8. Second was Randy Johnson with Divorce Papers at 290.4. Third was Cody Owens with a 04 Peterbilt at 285.8. Fourth, Jamie Eason with a 96 Peterbilt, 282.8. Fifth was Brent Spalding with a 04 Peterbilt called the Blue Devil, 277.3. Sixth was McGavie Trucking with their 84 Freightliner at 272.6. Seventh was Brandon McCormick with a 77 Ford at 264.8. Eighth place, Nelson McCall with his 88 Mac at 259 even. Ninth was Kenny Spoon with a 2018 Peterbilt, the part-timer, at 232.8. 10th was Walker Blankenship with his 86 Ford at 231.9. And 11th, Tony Denton with a 78 Kenworth called Nonsense at 163.29. What's up with that, Tony? That truck usually runs a whole lot better than that. I guess we had some issues. So
I guess everybody's allowed to have a bad day.
Oh no, he's not. No, we got to stay on. We got to pound.
Everybody but him.
That's right. Okay. Next up was the dump truck class. We had 6 of them there pulling. Taking the win was Ronnie Williams with the 99 Peterbilt called Lone Wolf, 333.2. Second was Matthew Williams with an 01 Peterbilt at 290.6. Third was Randy Johnson with a 2013 Western Star, Humping and Dumping, it's called, 288.7. Fourth was Brian Worrell with a 2020 Mac called Squirrel Nuts at 229.2. I ain't even asking. Fifth was Mark Hudson, a guy from up around this way here, 88 Peterbilt at 221.4. And sixth was Chris Lee with a 62 Mac at 183.1. And last but not least, they had 2 limited pro stock semi trucks on hand. And Brian Smith with his, what's that thing? It's a Peterbilt, I believe. Yes. He called Snow Job. 349.60 after the big turbo explosion at Greensboro. Came back retooled and took the win, 340.60. Second was Tom Zimmerman with Pressure Time. That's the Greek or Susquehanna truck service truck. 345.10. That was pretty close competition there. But yeah, great show. I wish I'd have went, but I had a pretty full plate over the last couple of weeks, so I did not. I opted to stay home. I talked to Jamie at the banquet, which is what we're going to get into here next. And sounds like the April event will be 2 interstate classes and 4 East Coast classes in April. So that's going to be nice. That's a nice
that's
new.
That's going to be an exciting show.
That's going to be awesome. You bet. Looking forward to that one. So then we had the East Coast. Oh, why don't you go ahead and tell us about Diesels and Dark Corners? We'll go there.
Yes, Diesels and Dark Corners went down to White Plains, Georgia. There was quite a few of us from the Pennsylvania, Maryland area that went down. We were able to get all of Friday's show in, and then for the first time in 12 years, we were actually rained out on Saturday. They were able to get, I think, 2 and 4 trucks, 2 classes, and then I think 4 or 5 trucks in. On Saturday evening, and then the rain let loose. I I had almost forgotten what humidity felt like, and then I was very quickly reminded.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday, it was quite humid down there. Had beautiful weather on Friday and literally all day Saturday until, I don't know what time it was, 7 or 8 o'clock when the skies let loose down there. Good time as always. They always have a nice meal for us pullers there on Saturday afternoon. One heck of a crowd down there, as always. They tried to just rain delay it because it was just spotty showers. But unfortunately, the water was just too much. That Georgia clay doesn't absorb water down there like it does up here. So the pits were an absolute, it was a river, basically. Luckily, nobody really got stuck when they were leaving on Saturday night. And it had pretty much dried up on Sunday morning till we left, except for where it was really, really bad. But no, we had a really good showing. Everybody from this area always goes down and hangs tough with everybody down there. Well, actually from all over the country. So we'll just go ahead and get started. Friday night session, they ran their tractor class first. They called it Pro Farm Tractors. I think it was a little bit more powerful than our Pro Farms and Hot Farms up here. I would say it was closer to like the Light Limited or even some Mod Turbos. They did have a couple Light Pros run exhibition, but I don't have distances for them. So without further ado, first class was the Pro Farm Tractors on Friday evening. Taking the win was Justin Massey with the Old Red International out of Crittenden, Kentucky. I was like, I don't know how to say that word, so we're just going to go with it. 341.95. Second was Bubby Race with the Perfect Storm out of Dry Ridge, Kentucky. 323.03. Third place was Keith Race with the Red Rattler out of Dry Ridge, Kentucky at 325.36. Fourth place was Roy Dumas with the Not Your Average Deer out of Bluffton, South Carolina. He went 294.74. And rounding out the class was Chad Saylor, local hero there out of Brooks, Georgia, at 252.45. Then we went into the Pro Stock Diesel Truck class, and taking the win was Chapter 11, the Smoke and Pickle himself, out of Newville, Pennsylvania, 356 feet, 0.69. Second place went to Brady Ingram with the Scheid Diesel Truck out of Illinois at 345.03. Third place went to a new truck, John Humpy with the Past Due out of Bloomingdale, Ohio at 306.87. Fourth place went to Stoney Hargett with the Sound of Madness out of Alamo, Tennessee at 306.25. Fifth place went to Nathan Vay with the Jumpin' Jack Flash out of Shelbyville. He went 300.42. And rounding out the class was Will Kaufman with the Wasp Ford out of Iron City, Tennessee. 300.12. Next, we went into an absolutely huge class of 2.6 trucks. There was 32 trucks on hand from Georgia, Maryland, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Indiana, Nebraska, Virginia, everywhere. But taking the win was J.W. Oliver with the Duke out of Jessup, Georgia, went 353.33 feet. Second place went to Mike Peabody with the Struck by Lightning out of Ohio at 351.74. Third place went to Lane Aldrich with the Dodge, with the Smoking Goat. That's what they put under the vehicle make. I don't think that's right. Never heard of a Dodge Smoking Goat, but what do I know?
I actually have seen that truck, yeah.
He was out of Missouri, went 347.90. Fourth place went to Ron King with the Problem Child out of Sandy Lake, PA at 347.03. Fifth place went to Hank Carlton with the truck named Sue out of Liberty, Georgia, 345.58. Sixth place went to Damon Winland with the Trudy out of Ohio at 344.71. Seventh place went to Nick Zankert with High Stakes at 344.36. Eighth place went to JL Krieger out with the Midnight Gambler out of Virginia, 343.94. Ninth place went to Sheldon. Wow, these guys got some interesting last names. Sheldon Dagvitter with the Renegade out of Wisconsin at 3:43.44. Right behind him at 3:43.34 was Chris Bear with the Rowdy Ram out of Pennsylvania. 11th place went to Russ Harms with the In Harm's Way Dodge out of Nebraska, 342 feet, 0.94. 12th place went to Abe Lonecker with his Dodge out of West Union, Ohio at 341.7. 13th place went to Josh Rose with the Rittenhouse Performance Dodge, again out of Ohio, 341.65. 14th went to Ernest Schwartz with the Bessie Ford out of Wisconsin at 340.53. 15th place went to Kyle Garner with the Still Instigating out of Senecaville, Ohio at 339.83. Where was I? 16th went to Ethan Schneider with the Centerfold out of Herman, Missouri at 338.04. 17th went to Ed McConnell with the Cause and Effect with Richmond, Ohio at 335.74. 18th went to Zach Glacken with On the Edge out of Ellington, Kentucky at 335.49. 19th place went to Brendan Finnick with the Homewrecker out of Beavertown, Pennsylvania at 335.32. Let me just tell you that Georgia announcer really enjoyed the name of that town. 12th went to Ray J. Rent with the White Knight out of Medford, Wisconsin at 334.92. 21st, Daniel Young with the Big Black Wolf out of Stockbridge, Georgia at 333.68. 22nd, we're still in the 330s at 22nd place. I can tell you what, they were letting them run that night. 22nd, Nathan Weber with the Bad Decision Ford out of Wisconsin at 331.31. 23rd went to Brent McGarity with the Last Minute out of South Carolina at 329.97. 24th, Brian Shue with the Iron Patriot out of Columbia City, Indiana at 327.32. 25th went to Luke Simpson's 100 Guns out of North Carolina at 323.49. 26th went to Kyler Zeckman out of Millmont, PA at 323.09. 27th went to Gaynor Hardy out of Washington, Georgia at 320.77. Leroy Hirschberger with The Wife's Nightmare was 28th place out of Wisconsin at 318.41. Noah Hostetler with the Not a Clue Ford out of Milton, PA at 314.55 was 29th. 30th place went to Jonathan Kaufman's truck Murica out of Wisconsin at 275.64. And then, unfortunately, two names we are definitely not used to seeing at the bottom. The Kinnaman brothers with Devil's Hooker was 31st place at 169.81. I believe they had some clutch issues. That's what it looked like for me as we were driving past, watching them work on the trucks. Definitely something in the drivetrain. And bless their hearts, they worked all day long on that on Saturday. And then didn't get to run Saturday night because I know John Mans and them guys would have had that truck running back right. Rounding out the class, though, the 2.6 trucks was Robert Young with the Booyah out of Monticello, Georgia, at 68 feet, 0.42. Next, we went into the Superstock diesel truck class. There was 9 of them on hand. Chase Eller with the Caretaker Dodge out of Tennessee took the win at 320.43. They definitely had a different sled sledding. That's what we'll leave it as. Probably was just a little bit too tight for these guys. It was a new sled there this year, so I think it was a little bit of a learning curve. But you'll see Saturday night results. They definitely let them run a little bit more and had a more enjoyable class for the fans, we'll say. Second place went to Van Hazley with the Rock Hard Ram out of Fairmont, Indiana, 312.65. Third place went to J.J. Brumby out of Ohio at 311.71. Fourth place went to Brady Ingram with the Scheid Diesel Dodge out of Illinois, 303.06. He went back in the pits and strapped on a bigger turbo and went out and ran with the big boys. Fifth place went to Terry Biggs's Deadpool out of Indiana, 302.96. Sixth place went to Jesse Warren with Shark Bait out of Guy Mills, PA at 301 feet even. Seventh place went to Carl Butler with his One Nation Dodge out of Oxford, PA at 292.45. Eighth place went to Craig Dickey with the Cummins Killer 3 out of Rivers Falls, Wisconsin at 289.51. And then if any of you guys have been on the TikTok or the Facebook and seen the runaway truck that went out there and jilted and just looked like it gave the guy a concussion, you guys have seen that video of that black Chevy. He actually came down to Georgia all the way from Ontario, Canada.
Wow.
And ran with these guys. Randy Overton was his name. Evil Diesel was the truck. And he went 249.56, rounding out the super stock class. Then we went into another big class, the 3.0 Limited Pro Diesel trucks. There was 28 of them on hand. And taking the win was Adam Kincaid with the Hill Brothers Dodge out of LaGrange, Kentucky at 341.2. Second place went to Brad Hayes with True Grit out of Ohio at 340.38. Third place went to one of our local guys here, Jared Brown with the Bad Karma Dodge out of Williamsport, PA at 338.8. Fourth place went to Dan Valance with Farm Truck out of Crawley, Texas at 337.71. Fifth place went to Jennifer Pushlar with the Matrix out of New York at 336.69. Sixth place went to Charlie Ruckert with the Ain't Cheatin' Yet Dodge out of, I don't know how you say that name, Pennsylvania. He's from out there. It says Ada. 336.24 was Charlie's distance. Seventh place went to Brian Shue with the Iron Maiden Dodge out of Columbia City, Indiana, 336.17. Eighth place went to Austin Folks with the Smooth Character out of Crittenden, Kentucky at 335. Ninth place went to Donnie Leggett with Running Out of Room out of Ohio at 334.90. Dominic Gambino was 10th place with the Dodge, with the Brothers Diesel Dodge at 334.6. 11th place went to Craig McElfresh with the 8 Envy at 332.75. That was a Missouri truck. 12th place went to Adam White with the Gambler out of Kentucky at 332.36. Brandon Ward with J Hill's Widowmaker out of West Grove, PA at 331.98 was 13th. Landon Perkins was 14th with his Dodge out of Kentucky at 331.76. 15th was Eric Hoke with the Slightly Overworked out of Ohio at 331.1. Tim Tuttle was next with the Common Sense out of Illinois at 329.07. 17th place was Nathan Hood with the Hood Rat out of Mount Sterling, Kentucky at 328.27. 18th place went to Clint Mills against all odds out of Kennedyville, Maryland, 328. I believe, if I recall, remember this was a couple weeks ago, so forgive me if I'm wrong, Clint. He was an early hook, and that is not where you wanted to be in their class. Or maybe it was the other way around. I know the class order definitely had something to do with it. 19th place, and I was also falling asleep because I didn't sleep the entire night before. Way to go. Not one of my brighter moments. 19th place went to Travis Pushlar with the Showtime out of New York at 326.93. Billy Mead with Older Jenny out of Kingsley, PA at 324.76 was 20th place. 21st went to Sean Sturritter with the Secondhand Smoke out of Kentucky at 323.61. 22nd place was Kyle Spickerman with Old Jenny out of Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania, 322.47. 23rd place was Justin Tipton with the Grey Goose, 321.97. 24th place went to Corey Frank with Causing Trouble out of Burbank, Ohio at 312.58. Boo Littman was 25th with Get Lit out of West Virginia, New Martinsville. Never heard of that place. 307.15. 26th was Bo Curry out of Wilmore, Kentucky with his Ford at 302.02. Chuck Dutter with the Common Hooker was 27th out of 40 Fort, PA at 207.74. And rounding out the class was Mike Burton with the Backwood Evolution out of Ohio at 178.69. And then we went into everybody's favorite class, the 4-1 semi-trucks. 11 trucks total on hand, and none other than our very own Hank Oster with the Scrapper took the win out of Salisbury, Pennsylvania, 386.96 feet. That's Hank. Second place was Mark Scott with Mr. Moki out with his Freightliner out of Ohio, 3:55.45. Third place, I like this guy's nickname, Dale Malivix, a.k.a. Hot Dog, driving the Big Mo out of Uniontown, Pennsylvania, 3:51.24. Fourth place was Ed Ziegler driving Death Row at 3:42.02. Albert Brown, fifth place with the Back in Black at 3:29.29. Sixth place was Beth Scott with the Miss Smoky, her Freightliner out of Perrysburg, Ohio at 3:09.09. Seventh place went to Daryl Fannin with the Green Hornet at 296.96. Eighth place went to Tom Brown out of Caldwell, Ohio at 289.56. Kobe Morris with the Bad Idea Peterbilt was ninth place at 266.82. Rounding out the class was Daryl Fannin with the Popeye at 222.26. You want me to keep going with Saturday, or do you have something else you want to talk about?
Nope. We got time.
So we definitely don't have as much with Saturday as we do Sunday or Friday. Got my days all mixed up. Like I said, we were only able to get 2 and a couple classes in, 2 and 6 trucks. I was wrong. So we'll get started with the Pro Farm tractors. Again, 5 tractors on hand. And I believe, no, a little bit different. Taking the win was Keith Race on Saturday night with the Red Rattler at 3:15.54. Second place was Bubby Race with the Perfect Storm at 3:11.61. Third place went to Justin Massey with the Old Red at 3:09.07. Fourth place went to Roy Dumas with Not Your Average Deer, 273.12. And rounding out the class was Chad Saylor at 234.79.
That guy, Dumas.
He's pulled up here before.
Oh, yeah. And I don't mean to go a direct left-hand turn away from the subject, but can you just imagine growing up
with the last name Dumas?
Yeah, I wonder if he ever got picked on much.
Oh, I guarantee he got picked on.
Yeah, poor guy.
Bless his heart.
Yes.
Next, we went into the super stock diesel trucks. And like I said, Friday night, they definitely had the sled set tight for these guys. And they let them run. And the track was much better shape on Saturday night than it was on Saturday or on Friday. It would have definitely been interesting to see how all the other classes played out. Taking the win and winning the belt for the super stock diesel trucks was Brady Ingram with the Scheid Diesel at 386 feet.
Wow.
81. Yeah, I thought Norm's
That's
just
winning with authority.
Yeah, 356 on Friday night was big. And then Brady, I think he went like 38 miles an hour or something crazy. Like it was wild. Second place went to Chase Eller with the Caretaker at 384.04. Van Hazley was third with the Rock Hard Ram at 378.62. Fourth place went to Craig Dickey with the Cummins Killer 3 out of Rivers Falls, Wisconsin at 373.56. Fifth place went to JJ Brumby out of Ohio with 363.69. Sixth place went to Jesse Warren with the Shark Bait at 361.45. Seventh place was Carl Butler with the One Nation at 357.59. Eighth place went to Norm Neuswanger with the Chapter 11 at 346.93. Ninth place was Randy Overton with Evil Diesel. That's that Canada truck. 298.78. And rounding out the class was Terry Biggs with the Deadpool at 184.57. And then, like I said, we were only able to get through 6 trucks, but we'll go ahead and go down through those trucks for you.
Sure.
At the time of the rain out, in the lead was Brandon Ward with Jay Hill's Widowmaker at 330.21. Second place was Adam Kincaid with the Hill Brothers Dodge out of Kentucky at 325.08. Third place was Brad Hayes at True Grit out of Orient, Ohio at 324.81. Fourth place was slightly overworked by Eric Huck at 324.66. Fifth place was Tim Tuttle with Common Sense at 321.89. And Billy Mead with Older Jenny was at 318.33. And then the rain won.
Oh, yeah.
And we all sat around and watched it rain. It was pretty much.
And rain.
Yeah, and rain some more. And then it stopped for a couple of minutes and everybody was like, "Ooh, maybe." And then they had all the kids go out and like do foot races in the track. It was, they made the best of it. And, a lot of times promoters, with only getting 2 of however many classes in, especially in a non-sanctioned event, would, there's a lot of different paths that could go. But all the guys down there ended up splitting the purse for everybody that didn't get to pull that night and cutting their losses. So that was very big on their parts. There was discussion of trying to let us run on Sunday afternoon, but we had an 11-hour ride home.
I was going to say that's a hard day of driving.
Yeah, that's a hard day. Even if they'd have started pulling in the morning, don't get over till noon or 2:00 in the afternoon, and yeah, it would that have been a rough decision for a lot of people to make. I don't know how many people would have stuck around, but hats off to Hank and the crew down there for putting on one heck of a show for the cards that they were dealt. That's all I got. Georgia was a good time. I'm ready to go back, and I kept the belt. They gave out wrestling belts, and I knew that somebody would throw it away, so I kept the belt.
Throw it away.
It's going to end up on the trailer wall. You just wait. And I can say
sure
that.
It will. Sure it will. I was just going through the East Coast Pro Pulling Banquet program, and got to looking at years. And the diesel class has been competed now for 14 years. And guess who has the most championships in that class?
Your diesel truck class, right?
Yes.
Andrew's won a couple years, hasn't he? Andy Grove. Didn't he win like once or twice?
I didn't see that name. He might have.
Or did Kinsley win and then he once?
Kinsley had a championship.
Yeah. I think there was one year that either because one time they had I guess they've always had 2 sessions. They've had the preliminary and the final.
I just had it all in front of me and I can't find it.
I think one year Grove and Kinsey back and forth. One won the prelim and one won the championship or the finals night.
Anyway, that particular person has won 6 times. 6 championships.
6 championships.
I found it. Here we go. 6 championships.
Who would that be?
Norman Newswanger.
What?
Yes.
Oh, you're talking about East Coast championships. Yeah. I thought you were talking about Keystone. Oh, I knew that. Yeah, Norm's won. Sorry, my brain. I was over here looking at the Keystone.
I'm tired too, but my goodness.
Yeah, he actually, we had this discussion on the way home. He won 2020 year too, but that's not in the book. True.
But Kensley did have 2 championships.
Yeah, and Mans has. I say normally has 6.5 because him and Mans.
He would have 5.5 then if you want to do halvesies with John Mans in last year, 2021.
Yeah.
But and Andrew Grove does not have a championship. He never did get one.
Come on, Andy.
Well, not doing much good now, is it?
Yeah.
I wanted to quiz you on that, and there you go, Norman.
If you'd have said East Coast, I'd have gotten that. Yeah, I was thinking Keystone. Yeah, I'll give him 6.5.
Excuses.
I'll let him count 2020, but he's not allowed to count 2021 when him and Mans had to co-champ it.
Laying down the smack, she is. I'll tell you what. Listen to that. Anyway, I wanted to read a little excerpt here that's in the program real quick. And just Not trying to bore anybody. This is important to all of us that knew these two. And in loving memory, we thought of you today, but that is nothing new. We thought about you yesterday and days before that, too. We think of you in silence. We often speak your name. All we have are memories and your picture in a frame. Your memory is a keepsake from which we'll never part. God has you in his arms. We have you in our heart. And with that, that was Dana Blank, who recently passed away, and of course, Mike Humps. So we miss him, for sure. I mainly seen Dana not only at the banquets, but at Frederick. I wasn't at Frederick anyway, and obviously she wasn't either. But she was always a presence in the East Coast trailer. Mm-hmm. So it's a shame. Anyway, we have some awards. I'm going to go ahead and just call the champions out here real quick. We've already done it once before, but we're going to do it again. Modified two-wheel drive trucks. Young man Darren Wilson with Dirty Money. He was your champion. Four-wheel drive trucks. Wayne Tapscott the second with Tasmanian Terror 2. Hot Farm Tractor.
He had a very nice acceptance speech.
Didn't he?
Yeah, yep. I thought his speech was very nice.
Yep. Brian Morrison, we're 66 Hot Farm Tractor champion.
And Rookie of the Year.
I was going to announce that later.
Oh. Sorry.
So congratulations on that too, Brian. Pro Stock Diesel four-wheel drive trucks. Norman Newswanger with Chapter 11. Ooh, Ford Power Stroke. We got to fix that. That's a Cummins.
Say, we need to update the program.
Modified tractor, the wild man himself, Len Brookhart with Radio Reactor. Like Pro Stock Tractors was Fred Hoke with Never Enough, and I'm happy for all of them, but I was really tickled for Fred. Mm-hmm. Fred hung in there to the bitter end.
When he left her all on the track.
It was the last hook of the season, and that's when she said, I've had enough, and just enough to get the championship. Hank Oster with the Scrapper in Limited Pro Stock Semi, and Super Stock Pro Stocks. I'm just going to say more motorsports. Dave and Davey did the driving this year. I'm going to include Terra too, because that is Terra's tractor. And that's the More Agitation John Deere. Congratulations to all of them. Now, since we already ruined
one of the awards here. I've ruined it.
Ruined it. Rookies. We had a few. Hot Farm Tractors, Brian Morrison with Shed Shaker, and Brad Peters, with a Case 970. Light Pro Stock Tractors, Fred Hoke, Never Enough, and Shane Scott with Blue Unit. Modified Tractors, Mike Rankin with the Midnight Wolf. Limited Pro Stock Semi Trucks, Carl Seiler with Oh My. And Modified Four-Wheel Drive Truck is the driver of the Iron Butterfly, the granddaughter of Mike and Linda Ziegler, Paige Lance. Overall, Rookie of the Year was
Brian Morrison.
With the Shed Shaker.
Shed Shaker.
The Shed Shaker. I don't get tongue tied on that anymore. Speaking of Dana Blank, they also are inclusive with her name along with her husband Johnny Blank. It's the Johnny Blank Award or Family of the Year, and that went to more motorsports. Tina, Dave, Davey, Kelly, Tara, et cetera, down the line, and Tara's husband on
Zach,
and the youngins. Congratulations. Well deserved. The Gary Mills Award went to Brad Montgomery, and that is Person of the Year. Brad is a fellow down near John and Gloria Smith who's done a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Helps John with a lot of stuff on and off the track. So congratulations to him. Hooker of the Year usually goes to a competitor. This year, JR missed about 6 or 7 events, and I obviously could not keep count of everything. But with that said, Andy Keene, if you don't know who Andy Keene is, Andy Keene can be seen hooking 90% of the season with anybody's sled. And Andy is the best. I don't care who you put up against him; he's the best. And it was well deserved. And I don't think anybody in that room Saturday night would disagree with me in giving him the Hooker of the Year award. So, good job, buddy. Behind the Hook is a award given out by the Decision Maker Sled team. Of course, Ray Kaufman's on hand every year to give those awards out. And Dave Greek does a lot for the semi-truck class, sponsorship-wise. And as Ray said, if I'm in trouble and I'm in the semi, he gets me fixed any time of day. So Dave Greek was one of the recipients, and Joan Keene, Andy's wife, for her work as announcing, working in the trailer for registrations, et cetera, et cetera. And when she's got free time, she actually films for me as well. So it's well deserved, Joan. The Grease Monkey, Junior Grease Monkey, went to the Jason McKenzie family's kids. I don't know the names. I apologize. I should have got a hold of them and got their names, but they are always at the pools, and I am sure they're cheering Daddy on. So,
yep.
And that's it, I think. But it was a wonderful evening, and thank you to, I'm just going to call her my wife. She's not my wife yet, but Cindy, who was spinning the tunes. She's not a DJ by trade, but she does do a lot of singing at nursing homes here locally, and we took the equipment there and did a good job. She was under the weather, unfortunately. She sang a couple songs, but we were hoping for her to sing more, but she didn't have the voice as normal. But what she sang was good. But next year. I asked Gloria, I said, everything okay with the music? And she said, I got no complaints, and we look forward to it next year. So guess what?
Yeah.
Cindy, you're doing it again. But as long as she's not sick, she'll definitely be singing more. So what else can I talk about?
You snuck the pickle in the
Yes.
video.
Yeah, I had, and you know what? See that? There's a little black box in here.
Okay.
I will never have a failure at the frickin' video booth ever again when it comes time to presenting video. All these years I've been doing it, okay? I've been doing the championship videos, et cetera, there at the banquet as the champions are coming up on stage. Until this year, I had 2 issues. I bought this, it came in today, and that's never going to happen again. So I was not a happy camper, but I kept my cool. Drank my beverage a little quicker. So we got through it, and yeah, it was really a good. It always is. Always a good time. I really enjoy the banquets. This Saturday night, Snyder County Tractor Pullers.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy and I are going up, and hopefully Kendra and Mr. Pickle will make the trek too as well. But I know Ty is not going to be able to make this Saturday. Ty was on hand last Saturday taking the photos, which is usually what I do, but I can only do so many things. Because unfortunately Mike Walker got really sick. He didn't even come out of the room down to the banquet. He was pretty bad. I think he has a doctor's appointment today. He had one. He's got some kind of food poisoning or something that got a hold of him really bad. Really, really bad. So they spent the weekend in the room. They didn't, they were sick. So.
Well, darn.
Yeah. But we got through it. Mikey called yesterday all apologetic. I'm like, hey, you're sick, you're sick. I mean, I didn't expect you to come down here and hang out at the booth.
Yeah, don't be having everybody else get sick too.
It worked fine. Well, what he had, it's not catchy. It's he had some food from a convenience store is all I'm going to say. I won't say the name. That right now is known for hysteria in the meats and cheeses, unfortunately. And I think he got a hold of some of that. So that's okay. He's on the mend. Oh, gosh. What else can we talk about there? From the banquet, John Mears was on hand and gave us a quick little speech. And it's always good to see him and talk to him.
Mm-hmm. think all the class meetings went well, at least the ones I was in for.
Yeah, most of the class, all the class meetings went pretty well. I'm not going to say any. There is one rule change for one class, but until it's in black and white, I'm not going to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Look for something different in the pro stock diesel four-wheel drive trucks. I'll just leave it at that. So, could be. Keystone Nationals meeting last night. That's why we're here tonight instead of last night. Look for. There's a good chance of 2 new classes. Nothing is finalized yet, but 16th through the 18th is definitely the dates. I don't foresee a change in any of the start times from previous years. Class-wise, look for most of the classes that we've always had, with the possibility of 2 new classes. They're not definite yet, but when they are, we'll let you know.
Little teaser there, huh?
Little teaser. Ticket sales, that's been a big thing. Coming soon. As soon as all of that stuff's ironed out and there's a definite set class schedule for each day, I will then take the time to get that stuff started. I'm hoping within 2 weeks into the month of December, 2 to 3 weeks, no later than that. I like to give people the opportunity to purchase tickets for Christmas gifts, et cetera, et cetera. So it's always tried to at least get in there by the 3rd week of December. It's got to be by the first 2 weeks because I'm going to be gone camping right before Christmas.
Oh, yes. We forgot to mention Tanya's cupcakes, the championship cupcakes.
I wasn't done yet.
From East Coast.
Yeah, but I wasn't done yet. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You're right. Yes. Tanya, forgive me, please. Yes, they were awesome.
Well, this'll.
And everybody kept saying that I must have had 5, 6, or 7 of them toppers, and they were really good. They were awesome. They were very delicious. The meal was very delicious.
Yeah.
Just wish there was more of it, but it was very delicious. I mean, that London brew up melt in your mouth. You didn't need a knife. You just run the fork right through it. It was awesome.
And they didn't limit you to 1 cup of ice cream this year. Norm was happy. He had like 3 cups of ice cream. One little scoop of ice cream is not enough.
But let's see. There was, I think Mike Mills won the. I heard him say something. I won Len the free membership for next year.
And Carl A did too.
Carl Ankwit's got one too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, Keystone. Where are we at here? Whatever the diesel class rules will be, once they're in pretty much in black and white, is what we'll follow at Keystone Nationals. We'll follow the same East Coast diesel 4x4 rules. That's once things are said and done, unless there's some oddball change, it will be the East Coast diesel 4x4 trucks. That's what the class will be. It will no longer be called Pro Stock, I guess.
Right.
It'll be East Coast diesel 4x4 class. So that's with the upcoming rules. But again, until it's in black and white, I'm not going to say any more. But it should definitely help the class. So, oh my goodness gracious, Keystone Nationals. Registrations for classes, to the best of my knowledge, are looking at right around the 1st of December, which is only a couple weeks away. And it will open to everyone. There will be no favoritism, so to speak. Not that it's what it is. It will open to everyone. So, KeystoneNationalsPool.com is the main website. And don't yell at JR. JR doesn't do that any longer. And if you send me a message, I'm going to do my best to answer your question. That's fine. Also on Facebook, and I believe it's Keystone Nationals Truck and Tractor Pool. I believe that's the Facebook page. So information is coming very soon for that.
It doesn't look like they have the website updated yet.
No, because they've only had 2 meetings. I missed the first one.
Yeah.
But that's the game plan as of now. So that's what's coming. 16th through the 18th of March. Ticket sales again will be probably within the second week. By the second week of December, we should be there should be something posted ready to go. So same as usual. You have reserved and general admission. I was going to do something a little different with the general admission, but I just I had an incident today with my father. I haven't had time to investigate and look here, look there, what we can do. So business as usual when it comes to tickets. We'll still be doing the printed tickets, and that's by some odd chance I get a chance to go in and change the ball, but I think we're just going to go as is, as it has been anyway. So yeah, what a day. Oh my goodness. Snyder County, I'm looking forward to that event here this Saturday. There is a pool. There is a pool somewhere this Saturday. I just got information on it. Gosh darn. Jacob Notes is the one that sent me the message. I remember reading about the pool, or no, the scheduling of the pool, but I said, well, I can't go because I'm going to Snyder County's banquet. Let's see. Delmarva.
Mm.
Now, Delmarva is having a hook. I'm sorry, I don't know where, but DelmarvaTractorPullers.com will answer that question for you. So, sorry, guys. I wish I could make that one too. But, what a weekend it was. Had a good time in Gettysburg, and East Coast Pro Pulling has closed the season and headed into steamrolling into 2023. So, Keystone Nationals 2023. Again, as soon as we get if the two new classes come to fruition, we'll be adding them into the schedule. It'll be pretty cool. I know what they are, but I'm not to say just yet. So we'll see what happens.
I think it's going to be an exciting year.
Pretty cool. Yep.
I mean, Easton's adding a hook, so there's one more hook for a couple of the others. Because Easton will have their, I think he said April 22nd was the date he was looking at. And then their typical one in July.
Yeah, it'll be the East Coast hook in July. But yeah, it's cool. That first pool is going to be pretty dandy, I do believe. Jamie does a good job down there with the facility, the track, all that good stuff. So we'll be looking forward. I know we'll be there in April for sure. Lord willing. My luck's
good
been
Lord
here
willing,
lately.
and the creek don't rise.
Goodness, man. Every time I turn around, something's going on. Who knows? So anyway, we're at almost at the 1 hour mark, so we're gonna go ahead and get out of here.
Mark.
I'm tired. I got about 4 hours sleep after getting home after 1 a.m. when I got home from the Keystone. Yeah, it's a 3 hour drive one way. It's 6 hours round trip for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually longer because on the way out yesterday, traffic, number one, we didn't get out of here at almost 20 after 4. And one of the main back roads we take was closed for an accident. So we had to do a great big loop all the way around and everything. Yeah. So yeah, it's quite a drive, quite a hike to go there. But I missed the first one we made yesterday's, and I don't know if I'll make December's. I'll do my best. But looking forward to it. It's a definite go. Business as usual. We're just waiting on a couple of confirmations, working out a couple of details, and we'll be cutting signups. Will be open to everyone. So I'm assuming that I guess before I say anything, I'm not sure. I would say you need to sign up. I don't know if there's going to be packets in the mail or not. So, pre-registration to sign up. So the pre-registration thing, please do it as quick as possible so we can get you in, get you listed, get you in a pulling order, et cetera, et cetera. I know a lot of people wait because they're waiting on parts. We understand that. So, but the sooner you can do it, the easier it is for the rest of us to do our jobs and make it right. So, right, Kendra?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The easier you can make our lives, the better we can make yours.
That is correct. That is correct.
And 2 weeks might not sound like a lot, but it's a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't leave you a whole lot of time to breathe, believe me. I mean, Thanksgiving's next Thursday.
Yeah.
So, let's see what kind of turkeys we can get on here next Monday. That was 2 weeks. And for anybody that's watching that had a reserved section, box seating last year, you will have first opportunities for those again. I know there's several of you that mentioned last year that you wanted them again. I will be sending out messages or a feeler in the mail or something. I'm not sure. But you'll have first dibs on your section once again. So if we need to, we'll add more. So, not a problem there. Okay, we're out of here. It's almost an hour. Kendra, stick around. The rest of you, like, subscribe, share. I'm tired. I need to go get some sleep, man. I'm really tired. But thanks for tuning in. And Lord willing, we'll... That's a lot of ice cream, Chris. Peanut butter would be my favorite. That's for sure. I can eat that stuff that runs out my ears and then some. For sure. Next Wednesday, we should be here at 8 o'clock. If not, I always put a message on Facebook. But that's the game plan for now. I don't know what's in store for then. Maybe we'll have some more answers for Keystone. And we can tell some more news, hopefully. So,
yep.
Until then.
See you next week. Oh, shit.
And like again, I'll tell you what, real quick. Very, very honor. You know, the holidays are upon them, and but anyway, upon us all. I know it's a tough time right now, even though we got some wonderful news night before last. Oh boy, I was jumping for joy and almost went through the roof. Not getting into politics, but anyway, I think you know why. But anyway, yeah, we hope to. Do what we can for the Varner family here. I just, in fact, had another puller inquire about it, and I think he's going to send his generosity to them here very soon. So help him out if you can. We appreciate it. Okay. With that said, oh my goodness, I got to go all over the place here.
Bye.
Okay.